Go.
So what's our game plan?
Let me tell you a story about my shirt here. I have some notes written down. My shirt here, it's an umbrella shirt, right? I'm surprised at the amount of people who, like, they just recognize umbrella. Like, I'll
Yeah.
wear this shirt, and every time I wear this shirt, somebody gonna be like, "Oh, hey, you're a Resident Evil fan? I like Resident Evil," and I just like, "What? Okay, thanks."
It's
Like,
a
I'm surprised.
it's a really popular film franchise too.
See, that's my point too. Is that I think it has to do with like the film franchise. So people, that's like another level of spreadosity or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But so I remember I was wearing this shirt, and my mom was like, "Hey, David, do you want to go get some lobster rolls? Do you want to go get lobster rolls?" And I was like, "Okay, that's fine." Like, we drove to this place in Houston that serves $20 lobster rolls. Yeah, it's like fucking $20 for a roll with lobster meat stuffed
Yeah.
into it.
Well, I mean, it's Houston. They're
And I
cheaper
remember-
in New England.
I remember sitting there with the thing, and she was like, David, nigga, Umbrella company 是做什么的? And so she was like, what does that Umbrella company do? And I was like, I don't know. They make medicine or something.
You know what Resident Evil shirt I'm really jealous I don't have?
Which one?
Nick got one at E3. I didn't go to E3 this year. He got one for playing Resident Evil 2, and it just looked like it just says like RPD. And it has like bloody handprints on it, and it looks really
Oh, come
stupid.
on.
But I found out he didn't even know. He didn't even know. He wore it on a podcast. I saw it. We left. I found out a day later that it's a Zombrad shirt. Like, it's a new one.
Oh,
You know,
that's what I was
yeah.
gonna say. It's the one that you can flip up. And then
Yeah,
that's the
it's a new one of those.
What a nerd, dude.
I need a new one because Hyde,
Your old-
my dog, ate
Ate
my
what?
first one. He ate the first one. Because I did a video where I ate some Jaffa cakes or something while I was the zombie. So I got cookie
Jaffa cake.
all over his face, and then the dog ate away the face because I didn't wash it right away, I guess. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So I don't know if you want to talk about that.
No.
The
Oh, what?
the core DNA. Okay, so here's the thing. Sometimes I'll watch y'all's shows or I'll see y'all's tweet.
I know.
Because you have to remember, I have all these people floating around, lurking in y'all's shows,
Yeah.
listening to what y'all say. And, in case y'all were talking shit about me or something, they like report back to me. It's like, hey, they're talking about you, David. But
Who are these? We don't talk shit about you. Who are these spies?
well, do I?
Oh, you
I can't-
you don't
I
have to
obviously
name
can't.
names. I was just
obviously
kidding.
Can't name names, yeah. But there's people. And anyways, what was I saying? Yeah. So sometimes I'll hear y'all say stuff, and I'm just like, God damn it, dude! I wish I was on the show so I could just freaking like, y'all say some dumb stuff sometimes, man. I just want to lay the smack down.
Yeah, well,
Anyways,
that's anything you listen to, but
But so recently, Nick's been going back and playing all the Resident
core
Evil
series, yeah.
core series or whatever. It's funny because I went back and I played Resident Evil 2 this year. I went back and played Resident Evil 6 this year. Are those the only two I played this year?
You
I played
played.
0. I played 0 at the end of last year.
Oh wow! I bought a Resident Evil game today, and it's one that I know you played, and I don't think anyone else I know has played.
Which one's that one? Oh, I beat Code Veronica this year too.
I got it on a half price. Books does these coupons.
Coupons, I know. I'm waiting for the Sundays. The
Yeah,
Sunday for the
yeah.
50%, dude.
Well, I had a 40% off coupon for today. I got Resident Evil Dark Side Chronicles. I've never
Yeah.
played it. I've never played
That's
it.
I want to say that's a great game, but I don't remember if it's a great game or not.
The thing is,
I played it with my brother.
the Resident Evil 2 remake is coming out, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to replay Resident Evil 2 because we just did that last year. Me and Nick, we did a race,
On PS1?
like a marathon race. Yeah, the PS1 original. So I'm gonna play Dark Side Chronicles to refresh my Resident Evil 2 memory again.
Is that how it works?
I don't know.
So it works.
I mean, I just know that I know actual Resident Evil 2 really well. I've never seen the Dark Side Chronicles interpretation.
So let me ask you a question. How much of Resident Evil 2 do you remember?
I remember it pretty well. I mean, I beat Nick in the fucking marathon race.
Of course you did. Dude. Why would you not? What chance did he have? That
He thinks he's a bigger Resident Evil fan than I am. I call bullshit.
Okay, so great. So I can talk to you about this because the thing is, here's the thing. I'm glad I'm talking to you about this. I want to talk to Nick about it, but I don't want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah,
Because
I know how that
here's
goes.
the thing. He loves Resident Evil. That's fine. And one of the things he wrote in his little article is he said something like, "Oh, he mentions the core DNA of the Resident Evil franchise."
Yeah.
Right. He says, "Oh, this one sticks to the core franchise." And then later on, he says that, "Oh, one of the core DNA principles is that they try something new." And so, like, I really want to ask him, like, well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? What? Okay, first of all, what is the core DNA of the Resident Evil franchise? Because,
Zombies?
well, that's my point. Is what for me personally, and should I say this? I think Nick just likes fucked up stuff, right? We've always said this. He just likes
would
fucked up stuff.
We've always said this. What does that mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Look at
Like gore. He likes gore.
Well, it's not even just gore because it's like the PS1 games are not very necessarily very gory, right? But oh, by the way, I beat Silent Hill 3 this year.
That's weird. See, Silent Hill is a series I've played them all, for obvious reasons, but I don't really like those games that much.
The game was so. I played the HD collection, which, by the way, everybody when I was streaming it, everybody was like, "David, do not play the HD collection. If you absolutely must have to play the HD collection, get the PS3 one because there's a patch that kind of fixed some of the problems."
Yeah.
And I was like, Chivos. It doesn't have Chivos. So you should see it when I play the Xbox 360 one. Every time I kill a boss, there's something wrong with the code or something. It goes into complete frame slow down, and like it takes like 15, 20, 30 seconds for the dying animation to finish as the Chivo pops up. And then like if you wait long enough for it to finish all that stuff out, it just goes back and plays
it's one of those things like I think Zone of the Enders collection was another thing where it was kind of fucked up when it came out. So they patched it, but they didn't want to do it on Xbox because I guess it costs so much.
Yeah.
So like, just don't get the Xbox version. Yeah. But what are we talking about? The core of Resident Evil.
Yeah, the core of Resident Evil. I'm trying to find a good way to express it, but he's just like I don't think it's the horror, right? I don't think it's the scariness of because like you look at other games like Outlast and Resident Evil 7, like Resident Evil 7. When I first started playing it and watched people play, that reminds me a lot of something like Outlast. Like like just the whole like just the intenseness of it all. So that's what I don't get because I played like Code Veronica this year, and that game is what the fuck? That's all over the place, man.
You talking about in terms of like tone and the story? It's like in fucking Steve. Is that his name? That guy's such a punk ass.
Devil May Steve.
Oh god.
He's got like the double guns, and he just if you go back and actually play and just watch those cutscenes, it's so ridiculous. You got like.
It's always been ridiculous. I always get into fights with Nick about this shit.
But that's my point. You said it the best. You said it long time ago. That's
what
like,
is it?
Resident Evil's always been like jump the shark. It's a giant snake in a house, right?
Yeah.
It's always been completely ridiculous. So for me, like, I loved Resident Evil 6. I actually just went back and replayed it this year and ran through all of 6 and loved just like jumping around and rolling around on the floor and dodging stuff and like.
So
like that.
So I don't like Resident Evil 6 either. But like it has a weirdly passionate like fan base that love Resident Evil 6 because of the mechanics, because of all the rolling and dodging and
no, I love it.
And some people claim that, it's such a good playing Resident Evil, but there's too many like sequences where you're like shooting stuff and stuff shooting at you and like
there is some of that.
Like automatic weapons and stuff.
There's some really weird parts. There are some really weird parts in that game. Just like some questionable parts. Like there's a part where when you're playing as Sherry and Jake, you're running around as Sherry in a operating gown, right?
Yeah.
You're like your butt. I don't know if it's your butt that's sticking out.
Probably
you're running around like that, and you're just literally in a room where just guys keep pouring in, and you have no way to fight them, and like you have to figure out that you have to get Jake to operate some sort of like camera to spy on this guy who when he punches the code in, and then the code to get through. And yeah, we were like, I completely forgot about that part. It was super frustrating.
I definitely don't want to talk too much about 6 because I think that one more than any of them kind of gets away from.
Well, what was it?
Well, I mean, not in terms.
The thing is, if 6 wasn't called Resident Evil, it'd be a totally fine game.
I mean,
I don't think it
obviously
would've been
there's
as bad.
expectations and stuff for sure,
Absolutely.
but did you ever play Revelations 2?
I did love Resident Evil.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely love it.
You played
The
it
first
co-op?
sequence. Yeah, well, I played it all single player on PS4 when it came out,
Yeah.
and then after I beat it on co-op PS4, I had somebody come into town, and I was like, "Hey, you want to help me get these Chivos?" And I just rebought the game and played it through on Xbox.
Yeah.
But it's only split screen co-op.
Hey, is that that bad Animal Crossing thing for the Wii U back there? Other side.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
What was that Animal Crossing town?
It's the Mario Party. And
Okay, I heard that's
It
awful.
sucks because I spent like I think $10. It was like when the new one got marked down, it was like $10 or $15. It was a new one but marked as used, and then it like got marked down even more and it's like $5 now.
What's like the coolest shit you have behind you?
The coolest shit?
Yeah.
Well, I just bought this today. Look, like what the Marina and Pearl amiibos.
Do you play Splatoon?
Yeah, I do. Well, what do you mean play Splatoon?
I
I
don't
beat
know.
all the single player and stuff like that.
Is the single player stuff good in the second game?
No, I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
The first, I actually went back. Do you play it with motion controls?
No. Yes. I don't remember. I only played the first one, but I played all the single player stuff, and
What do you mean
I kind of
don't
liked it.
Play with motion controls. Either you play motion controls or you don't. It's a very dramatic.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay, because here's the thing. I beat that entire first game without motion controls, and then when Splatoon 2 came out, somebody taught me how to play it with motion controls, and I went back and played it again. It's like the first game's so much better with motion controls.
Yeah, you know what? They're right. The people that say motion controls are better are right, but I think it's because the stick aiming was really bad in Splatoon. Like, it's hard to aim with the right stick for some reason. Like, it's not tuned very well.
Maybe I'm trying to. See
I pre-ordered my Ridley amiibo yesterday. Yeah.
I did. Ridley
Well,
and
why
Wolf
is Wolf? So I did that, and I'm like, well, Ridley's $16. I guess that's because he's big.
right?
But
No, he's not that big.
well, and then the Wolf one is also $16. So are they just charging
Yeah.
more?
They upped the price on the new amiibos.
Oh my god!
It's a standard thing, but it's a good thing because I still have my Best Buy GCU, so I
Yeah,
get 20% off.
Yeah.
And if you do a store pickup, they give you store pickup incentive extra $1 off.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that. Do you you said what is my coolest thing here? Let me see what
That
I
I've
have a bunch
never
of stuff.
seen. Yeah.
I've got this. I've got a bucket from when Niigata 48 did
Okay.
a promotion in Japan, and you got the Niigata 48 bucket. They were selling a bucket of 48 chicken nuggets.
Did you eat all the nuggets?
Oh no, I actually didn't get these. Somebody else got them for me.
Didn't you used to have like a Lunar poster in your room?
You mean
I've always been.
that one?
I was always so jealous of
Can
that.
you even see it?
Oh, I've always been so jealous of that.
I don't know if you can see it. Is that what?
I see it. Yeah, I see it in the corner.
Yeah, that's my Lunar poster. The one that I got from when my brother bought the strategy guide, and then you actually mailed it in. The thing is, you have to mail in his. You had to mail in for the poster, and the thing
Yeah.
is, we mailed it in, and I just completely forgot about it. And then it was like a year, 2 years later, I was going through the garage, and I was like, "What is this poster tube? What the hell is this?" And I opened it up. Yeah,
I
it's
love
a
that poster.
Lunar poster.
All right, let's stop talking about shit in your room because it's just distracting me, I think.
Yeah.
So Resident Evil. I'm
Yeah,
glad Nick's not here. It's hard for me to talk about Resident Evil around Nick, and
Why?
it's a shame because I'm also a very that's pretty cool. I'm also a very big Resident Evil fan. I just feel like I'm a different kind of Resident Evil fan. You know, he gets so upset. He thinks that Resident Evil. You know what?
He cares about the purity, right? He cares
Yeah.
about the purity of the Resident Evil series. Oh, it's got to be pure. The story has to be, like fucking Chris. I was running around as Chris Redfield in fucking Code Veronica, and he gets he's fighting some sort of worm, and getting swallowed by the worm and getting spit out and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's always been kind of B horror, but if someone were to ask me what's the core of Resident Evil, like the very identifiable thing, I would say that it is a survival horror game. I think this applies from like, I don't know about 6, because I feel like 6 you're pretty powerful right from the start. But I think it's about being thrown into an environment with very little, feeling very vulnerable at first, but then getting really powerful towards the end of the game. And I think that's true for all of them, even the old ones. I mean, think about like Resident Evil like 2. You have like
so it's
grenade
not the
launchers.
item management. You don't think item management has to do with any of that?
No, absolutely. I think there's multiple aspects of all of these things.
Okay. I didn't play 7, by the way. I can't play 7.
Really? Too scary?
It's too much for me. I saw an idol playing 7 once, where she was fighting some spider woman that was crawling on the ceiling, and I was like, I could probably do that. But the early parts, when you're like just kind of like walking around the house and you don't know what's going on,
it's pretty scary at first, but it's not like super scary, and and that definitely goes away. I do recommend 7 because 7 feels kind of like that pre-Resident Evil 4 structure, where so this is the thing I always kind of have a hard time communicating to Nick about. He thinks that there is this divide in terms of tone with the start of Resident Evil 4, because Resident Evil 4 is, you got little,
you're talking about more actiony.
I think he's talking about the stories getting like more ridiculous with 4 as well, like the story of the characters, the action, in terms of the
starting
lore.
with 4, but he's okay with 4, right? He's okay with you.
He likes
freestyle swimming in the water while the big crocodile fish thing is chasing you.
He does. But I think the real difference there is, I don't even think the combat is really all that different in 4 versus the previous ones. I just think it's a new perspective. Like it put the camera behind your shoulder, and it gave you a little. You've always been able to aim like up and down and straight, right? But this just gave you a little more like control over how you aimed. And it's tank control. It still plays like a classic Resident Evil game,
right?
But because you have better control, they threw more enemies at you. But I think there's like it's different, but there's a pretty clear like evolution that happened there. I think the big difference with 4 and beyond is the overall structure. You're not in one single place for a long time, unlocking subsequent,
and
doors and backtracking. You don't do backtracking.
I absolutely agree with you on that, because when I played Code Veronica this year, Code Veronica is absolutely the worst, because there's only 2 areas. You play the one area on the prison mansion, and then you as what's her name? Not Jill, but Claire. You play that area, then you fly off to like Antarctica, and then later you come in as Chris and you replay the same exact mansion, and then you fly to Antarctica because you're chasing after your sister.
Yeah.
So you end up playing this big area and that big area, and then that's it. So you don't really do like it. It feel like such a struggle in that game. Just like, when is this game over? It also is like Code Veronica is significantly longer than 3 or any of the previous Resident Evil.
I do remember that. Yeah,
it's also dumb,
and even Code Veronica started to mess with like first person aiming, because you had the sniper rifle and the boss fight at the end, which I think I read that if you don't have any ammo, you just like can't win. I can't remember, but
it's one of those like super guns, right? The little electricity thing.
I don't know.
I really do want to play Outbreak though. By the way, I have the first Outbreak, and we could system link that, and then like there's an Outbreak 2 in Japan, right?
Yeah.
That never got released here. Like,
I thought it did get released here. File 2?
Oh, did it?
I think
maybe it did actually. Yeah, never mind. I take that back. I remember File 2 getting released here.
There's been some of the light gun games that didn't get released here.
That's what I was talking about then. It's it's the one because it's the light guns are like Resident Evil. Then it has like Dino Crisis. By the way, we can't talk about Dino Crisis. Never mind.
Do you like Dino Crisis?
I played the first 2. I like them. I like them fine. I promised somebody I was going to play 3, and I still haven't played it yet.
3, don't play 3.
I know, that's why I got to play it. Yeah. He bought the strategy guide, dude. He bought the strategy guide off of the internet, so he could walk me through it.
So yeah, Resident Evil. I don't know. So I think. What I'm trying to say is, I think outside of structure,
I
think Resident Evil is actually a very like natural
Progression.
progression from that previous formula.
No.
Like it's not as like this huge departure. He kind of frames it as like it is, you know,
Serious.
both like one of the best things that ever happened to Resident Evil and one of the worst things that happened to Resident Evil. And I like bristle when he says the worst because it changed almost entirely for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kept it. It'd be dead if it wasn't for Resident Evil 4. But like, I think he blames the sins of what he hates about 5 and 6. And I think 5 is amazing. So
No, 5 is great.
Yeah.
It's absolutely great.
he
Absolutely great.
I think he blames the sins of 6 or whatever because he doesn't really like 6 on 4, and I don't think you can do that. I don't think that's fair.
Does he really blame 6 on 4?
I think he blames all post Resident Evil 4
Problems.
stuff on 4.
Because 4 is the one who changed it.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's not talk about Nick though. He's gonna watch this and feel bad. I don't want him to feel bad. I'm just glad
He should feel bad.
I'm
His
glad
opinions
we're
are wrong, and he should feel bad.
Hey, I'm a nicer person in 2018, Dave. I don't say these things. But you should. Resident Evil 7's cool because
I still mean to.
It does have the structure of kind of the older Resident Evils, but it's not as fun as like Resident Evil 4 and beyond. In fact, I'd argue that Resident Evil 7's not even as fun as some of the classic Resident Evils because there's not like much variety in the enemy design, and there's not like many interesting weapons. It felt a little like they played it too safe I don't know. It's good.
You're the first person I've heard say that. Everybody talks like, "Oh, Resident Evil 7's amazing," and
no, it's good. It's good. I mean, it didn't make my top 10 that year, but I actually prefer like Evil with. I think I preferred Evil Within 2 to Resident Evil 7.
That's so good. We talked about this a little bit over text, right?
Yeah,
Evil Within 2 was so great.
It's good. It's real good.
Evil Within 2 is basically Resident Evil 4. Like, just there's so much stuff that's so similar to Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
And they just put you in there, and you gotta like sneak around. And
I was really
frustrated.
surprised by that game.
I was so frustrated with that game in the beginning because I just was getting killed by everything in the beginning, and then, that level up progression. So all of a sudden, you're like, dude, this is a cinch. Like, I'm just blowing people away and like harpooning people from like across the screen.
Yeah, and I think that's very core to Resident Evil. It's you start off very kind of scared and vulnerable, but then you're just whizzing past zombies. You don't even fucking care anymore, right? Because you build a confidence, and I think building that confidence is a very important part of Resident Evil. Because that sort of arc is a little different than it is in other survival horror games. Other survival horror games kind of want you to feel vulnerable the entire time. Resident Evil, I don't think, wants to do that. It wants it wants to stay challenging, but it doesn't want you to feel weak. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because Silent Hill, man, dude, that game.
I don't like Silent Hill.
I played Silent Hill 3, dude. It was so funny. Yeah, because you're just like swinging that stick around the whole time. Right?
Yeah. I'm really excited for this new game. My only hesitation is that it's based so much on Resident Evil 7's engine, and it even has like the same UI. I'm hoping they update that, but like the same inventory management, the same UI, and it even looks the same. Like all the prompts look the same. Like Leon does this thing where he interacts with a fuse box or whatever, and it looked the exact same as it did in 7 when you opened the fuse box. So, but I don't know. I'm obviously excited for that because it kind of looks like Resident Evil 4, but Resident Evil 4 and 5 and 6 to some degree play a very specific way, and it was very fun to kind of control. Like it felt good. It felt really good, and 7 didn't have that same feel. It didn't feel as good.
But it has the tone. Because, like, everything I've seen from Resident Evil 2, the tone is, like...
Oh, yeah.
Did you see this one clip where this guy's, like, trying to climb under one of those, like security doors? And he gets stuck, and then he gets, like, bitten in half, and you pull out... I mean, it's just the ultra-violence time that we're in now. Because, like, Until Dawn... Remember there's a scene in Until Dawn where the blade, like, cuts the dude in half?
Yeah.
Like... They don't show that at all in Japan. Like, I've watched Japanese streamers play the game, and like right as the blade gets there, it just cuts to black, and you hear people screaming, and They don't show you
You're
anything.
talking about when like Rami Malek, that guy,
Yeah,
that
Rami,
guy,
yeah.
yeah, the guy from
Remember,
Mr.
'cause
Robot. When he
he's-
gets, but it's important that they show that part because they really want you to believe that he's
that he's dead.
dead.
Yeah, I know.
Spoilers, but if they cut away, then it's like whatever. That's not the point. Until Dawn's pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah,
Did you play
That-
Detroit?
I did play Detroit.
I like Detroit too.
Yeah, Detroit was okay. It was
I mean,
it's not
it had
game
some,
of the
it
year.
Had some, no, it had some really cringy stuff. I pretty much hated everything involving Marcus, but I liked.
Yeah, Marcus is dumb.
He's real dumb.
Super dumb.
But I liked Connor, and the lady was
Love
okay.
Connor.
Yeah,
Love Connor.
Connor's
I love
definitely
all-
the best part.
all the interactions with him and Hank, where they're like, "Oh, so yeah, you're eating this cheeseburger, and it's probably not healthy for you," and those things. Yeah, it's great.
Did you play
Just-
A Way Out?
A Way Out, I did.
I thought that was kind of stupid. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was playing it, I was like, "Oh, there's some cool stuff here." But I think after I finished that game, I was like, "This
did
is
you like-
stupid."
I don't want to ruin. It's not on my games of the year for sure.
Yeah.
But like, did you like the twist at the end?
No, I mean, I saw it coming.
Really?
No, I had it spoiled.
I saw it coming, but I was like, but
no, I had
but
it
it was-
spoiled.
it was.
Be-
Oh, that's why. Because I called it, and then like the guy I was playing with was like, "No, dude, no," and I just did it kind of jokingly, and then like all of a sudden it happened, and he was like, "Oh shit."
I played it with Malia, and like she's
Oh
it's
God, you piece of shit.
it's
dude.
not fair because I'm just better at video games than her.
No, I
so
know,
she
you
had no
freaking
chance of surviving.
trying to get those Chivos for you, dude.
Oh man, but yeah, I don't know.
Malia, how's Malia doing?
She's doing okay.
Are you planning to have another kid or just the one?
You know, I don't think we need to talk about that here. That's
Can I tell this story? Can I tell this story once?
I don't know what this story is. I don't know what you're about to say.
It might be kind of embarrassing for you.
Well, then don't say it, man.
I have to tell it, dude. It's funny. It's
But
so
we're talking
funny.
about video games.
It's pretty obvious to the
I'm
chat,
gonna
right?
mute you on our stream.
It's obvious to the chat that you've had before, right?
I have a child.
Okay, so that's okay, right?
What? Okay.
So I remember one time when you were still living with Jay, to stay with you guys, you went to work, and I remember. I don't know if you remember, but I texted you. I was like, "Hey, dude, I need a charger for my 3DS. I need a charger for my 3DS." And he's like, "Yeah, just go ahead and go into my room and go ahead and go to my room, and it's in one of the drawers next to the bed. You just if you need it, go grab my 3DS charger."
Before you continue, have you even told me this story?
I thought maybe I did. I've told a lot of.
Jesus.
I've told some of my friends that know you.
Okay.
Anyway, so I was like, "Oh, okay, so it must be next to the nightstand." And I go and I open it up, and it's just full of condom wrappers. I was like, "Oh, I did not.
What?
That's not what I expected."
This
to
is
see there."
not even a story. This is just. I don't have a trash can near my bed, and what do you do?
The wrappers, not used condoms. Maybe I need to clarify. Yeah, but
just
at
the
that time,
wrappers.
at that time when we were living together, I wasn't sure if you. I
Okay,
wasn't sure where you were
let's
in your
Bring
relationship.
this back to video games.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Darksiders 3 is coming out this year.
Yeah, I watched that 11-minute thing. Did you watch that?
No. Okay. Whoa. Sorry. I'm thinking of Darksiders 3 because there was some deal this week that may have gotten canceled, anyways. But Beyond Good and Evil 2. How far along is that game?
Have you've not heard any of my Beyond Good and Evil 2 rants?
No.
It makes me angry even thinking about it. It's not a fucking video game. It's never
It's
gonna come
not.
out. It's
Yes.
it's they're showing these CG trailers and it's so unfair. It's just like fuck
because
off.
it's not
It-
actually.
it
It's
makes me
not
so
nothing,
mad.
right?
It
It's a
doesn't
big
even-
nothing burger.
Yeah, it's like all they had to do was make another one kind of like the first one, and instead they
But you
made the
wanna-
most ambitious video game in the world that's never gonna come out. I mean, you look at like Star Citizen and No Man's Sky and like those don't even seem that crazy compared to what Beyond Good and Evil 2 is trying to pull off, and that a cinematic story at the same time they're doing this big ambitious
What are they trying to do with Beyond Good and Evil?
They're trying to make it like a big multiplayer, explore the fucking universe fucking
Really?
game. Yeah. Like, what the fuck are they thinking?
Beyond Good and Evil came out in what, like 2003, I think, right? I looked this up recently. I'm pretty sure it came out around 2003.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe 2005.
It was 3.
Do you know when the trailer? Okay, remember there was a trailer with Jade sitting on top of the hood of the car.
Yeah, I remember.
And Paige was like swatting flies or something like that.
I think it was like 2008
do you know when that trailer came out?
or 9.
Yeah,
2009.
2008. It was 10 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
And they just now.
It's just like, you know that Michel Ancel has had such a hard time getting this game made, and I think I understand why. Because he probably sounded like a crazy person to whoever at Ubisoft greenlights his projects. I thought he was just trying to pitch a simple, hey, this game's kind of like Zelda, but you take a lot of pictures. People like it. It's not going to set the world on fire, but I really want to make this. No, he was probably pitching this ridiculous, ambitious thing, and Ubisoft was probably like, we can't do that. What are you talking about? But they finally let him do it, and now everyone, the whole world gets to see his insanity. That game is not going to come out like anytime soon. Like, have you seen these clips? It's like tech demo shit.
Yeah, where you're talking about the gorilla guy flying around the outside of the ship, and he's just like not with like any animation. He just kind of like,
oh my god, like we're gonna see Resident Evil. We're gonna see a Final Fantasy VII remake. We're gonna see Death Stranding. We're gonna see Cyberpunk. We're gonna see all of these games before we ever play Beyond Good and Evil 2. Why are they even calling it that? Jesus Christ, it's weird. I don't know.
Did you ever play the Mirror's Edge remake or the sequel or the prequel or whatever?
No. I mean, I played a demo of it, but
I tried to start it up. I have some people who tell me it's a great game, but
like Nick really likes it, I think. But
oh, really? I haven't talked to Nick about that.
So you know what game I really got into recently is Dying Light, and
you motherfucker, dude, that game is so boring, dude.
So when I first started playing that game, like, I mean, I don't know when I first started playing it. I kind of agreed, but I hit like a. I mean, granted, I don't really care about the story. I kind of like tune all that stuff out. But I started playing it a lot, just kind of running around. God, I'm surprised you say that because you're kind of into Metal Gear Survive, and I see.
Whoa.
Maybe we don't have time to get into
I kind of like the Dead Island stuff. I played both the Dead Islands, and I liked them enough co-op.
Yeah.
But I played Dying Light, and it just seems so.
How much of it did you play?
Well, I played it when it first came out, and then the thing is, I put it down, and I recently actually tried to pick it back up again, and I played maybe like a couple hours.
It's tough. It wasn't until
the traversal stuff is the stuff.
Okay, see, I like that stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like Mirror's Edge seems pointless to me because Dying Light is doing traversal stuff, but it's like other stuff is happening. You know, like I feel like the whole dynamic of just the zombie apocalypse and all the mechanics of the different types of zombies and stuff, nighttime, that stuff gels really well.
You like the nighttime stuff?
Well, at first I was kind of scared and I didn't even go out at night. But the fact that you level up twice as fast at night is like really kind of cool. So I started like taking chances, and I don't like sneak around at night. I run my ass. I mean, I run, but I'm still trying to avoid the vision cones of the really deadly
vision cones.
Yeah, the Soliton radar.
You're playing on a PS4 though.
Yeah.
Do you even have an Xbox One?
I did at one point, and I traded it in. But you know what? I saw one at a Half Price Books today. It was a slim. It was a slim, and it was $199. I've told myself I don't really want to buy it, and I probably shouldn't buy it. I probably shouldn't be spending the money. But I told myself if it's there on Sunday,
you got a 50% coupon.
Yeah, I'll do.
You're gonna have to go first thing in the morning, dude, or just go and ask him to hold it for you.
It's probably already gone. I don't know. But the only reason I want it is for the 360 backwards compatibility, and I have 2 Xbox One games. I own 2 Xbox One games from when I owned the Xbox One, and they're like the only 2 games you really can't play anywhere else. It's Sunset Overdrive, which I never finished.
Oh my god! You know I finished that recently.
And what'd you think,
dude? That game is a nut punch, dude. It's a constant nut punch.
Well,
Did you like? Did you like the? Did you like the humor in the game?
not really, but
Okay, so
but I kind of liked how it played. I was getting to a point where I was kind of enjoying how it played. I did a couple of boss fights that seemed cool, but I ended up putting it down.
yeah, I went back and replayed the entire thing. Took me like 35 hours or something like that.
And then the other thing I
Like
have
all the
is the
DLC.
rare replay collection, which is cool because that's still like the only way you can easily play like the old Conqueror, and so some of that stuff is just convenient, right? But
I guess.
I mean, that's it though, right? What else? I have a PC that can play all this Xbox stuff, so like ever since they canceled Scale, like it was a couple of things, right? They
Oh, that's
canceled
right.
they canceled the
You're-
Phantom Dust
You're
remake.
precious.
They canceled Scalebound, and then they said that everything was also coming to PC. I was literally like, you just destroyed all the reasons I bought this Xbox. Because, I don't care about Chivos.
Wait, let
anymore.
me ask you a question. They canceled the Phantom Dust remake. I thought there's some sort of Phantom Dust on the system right now.
It is, but
not the
that's
remake.
just a port. All they did was like a port to appease the fact that they canceled the remake.
Oh, I see.
The remake wasn't just like a remaster or anything. Like it was a new studio, or I think that studio still exists, Darkside or something like that. They were like completely making it. It was a new game / remake. Like they just killed that project and then kind of didn't really talk much about it, and then slid out the port for free.
I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it was cool that they did that, but I was real mad, obviously. And then the Scalebound thing, that's obviously a big deal to me, so fuck. So I don't know. So even when Microsoft might announce something cool, I'm just gonna play it on the PC. Like I played ReCore on my PC and I really liked ReCore, but I didn't need an Xbox,
Sure.
And it's cool that they bought
Did
Ninja
ReCore-
Theory. Ninja Theory. They'll probably do good shit with Ninja Theory, but it's coming to PC. So
So let me ask you a question. ReCore had bad loading times on the PC.
no.
It had terrible loading times on the Xbox.
No,
terrible.
They were.
It's been
they were
fixed somewhat in
fine.
the patch since the patch, but
No,
Oh my
they
God,
weren't bad
I
at
had,
all on
like,
PC.
I had like a 60-second, a minute and a half load times at times. I think.
No, yeah. See,
It was
that's the
like
thing.
that bad.
I was telling people that I like this game and that you should play it, but don't play it on Xbox because you're not going to
Oh.
have the experience that I had because especially towards the
It's
end of
totally fine now, dude.
towards
It's
the end
totally
of that
fine.
game, you fast travel around a lot.
Yes.
And if I had to deal with those load times, I wouldn't have done half the shit in that
But it's
game.
fine
that I
now.
ended
You
up
get
doing.
definitive edition. They've patched in all the other stuff. It's $10 at Best Buy. Go to Best Buy website, order it. It's $9.99, dude.
I mean, with the definitive edition, that's probably like a pretty cool, complete game at this point, right?
Yeah.
I really like it. Made my top 10 that
They
year.
have the other robot like unlocked now finally.
And you know what? This might be controversial, and I know you're a Nintendo fan, but Armature has been doing more interesting shit than Retro has since they
sure.
stopped working on Metroid Prime. And because a lot of those Metroid Prime leads left to go form Armature,
Right.
and
Yeah,
I could see Metroid Prime all over ReCore, like in terms of like some of the design elements. And then I don't like those Donkey Kong games, so I mean, I have not been happy with what Retro's been doing.
Yeah, I mean, but
I thought for sure we were going to hear about their little Star Fox racing game thing.
but
At
it's not.
E3. Well, it wasn't at E3.
Okay, but yeah, Armature, right? You're really
Well,
excited about Armature.
No, I mean, ever since
about
they
that-
got
what
formed,
about
I've
the-
been holding out hope that they would make a sign a good contract with a big publisher and like to do something cool, right? And they were working on that Mega Man thing, and that got canceled. And they just had a really rocky start. But it was when I played that Batman game on they did the Arkham. What the fuck was it called? They did the
The
handheld.
VR one?
No, they did a handheld Batman game.
Was that them?
Yeah, it was what was it? Arkham Origins. It was when Arkham Origins came out. Blackgate.
That
Remember
one?
that?
You like that one?
No, I didn't even finish it. But it was fine. It was okay. It was fine. But what I noticed when I played that is like, even though it was a side-scrolling game essentially, Did you play it at all, or you seen it? Like maybe watch some footage of it. It has like insanely, like the way the levels were put together is insanely intricate. And even though like Batman is just kind of going from left to right, like the way like the level is like turning in and on itself, even though you're only pressing left or right, like the level is going all over the place and like into and on top of each other, and it's like this is like their level design chops, even though they're using it in such a way that most people probably won't even care or notice. Like there's obviously some talent there, like that, and I just know that if they get the budget to do something like really big and polished, like with Metroid Prime back in the day, and maybe like a good guiding hand, I think they could do something really amazing. And ReCore was almost there, but obviously, I think ultimately, that game was a little rushed, obviously, right?
Yeah,
not even all the content got in. It had some technical issues, but I could absolutely see some of like
and ReCore kind of ended abruptly. I remember.
Yeah,
I remember at the end you're just going, and then all of a sudden it's like you would think that
it was very much like Bianca and Hefel. Right? You remember Bianca and Evil? You go into a volcano at the end with
and you get like
50
80
pearls.
Yeah,
it was like that. It was
like
that.
I remember because you were like, oh, well, it looks like I probably have a good chunk of the game left, and then all of a sudden they just give you all of them.
A lot of reviews for ReCore kind of complained about how towards the end you had to go back and grind out orbs, but because I was playing it very thoroughly and I was trying to like best all the challenges as I went, I didn't have to do that grinding, so it didn't really affect my playthrough. But I really liked the timed challenges where you had to race to the end. Yeah. While shooting all that shit was so good. And like there is no other game out there that's like that.
And then also combining the platform, because the game really reminded me of like these old platformers I used to play. You know, just where you jump, dash, you know, and then like you had the little things to reset your dash, you know?
Yeah.
It's just you don't have games like that.
It kind of reminded me of when you started doing the levels timed in Sly Cooper 1.
Right.
Yeah.
The Thief Sprints.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that. And I just thought it felt good, even though it was kind of janky. It really was. It felt good, like kind of dashing off ledges, you know, to get that extra boost and stuff. It was good. I should play that definitive edition.
You play the game over again, or just finish up the other stuff?
Just
it's that
finish
other area.
Up the other stuff, I guess. Yeah.
I tried to do that one time, but it's been so long since I played the game.
And you can ride the tank, right? And you can get around a lot faster, like with the new robot.
Oh, it's like a skateboard thing, right?
Do you get around fast?
Skateboard robot. I honestly don't even remember, dude.
Dying Light's
I started up. You have to use it to get over the quicksand.
It wasn't until I started doing side quests in Dying Light, I think, that it really started to click with me. I tried doing co-op at first, just because I promised Carlos, and because we had tried to do that like a year or two ago, and it kind of didn't go anywhere. So I was like, I'll give it another shot. But I don't like playing co-op.
I don't think co-op's good, because I think when you're playing co-op, it's not you tend to take it not seriously.
Yeah,
we're just running
tension,
around.
Yeah.
Right. I remember when I first started,
you're getting
really
ganged up on, you know.
Right. I remember I was being tense, and I had to kind of just like peep my head out, look around, make sure the coast was clear, and kind of plan out where I was going to run. But when it was co-op, we were just both going around, just like beating shit up and kicking stuff over, and just having a ball of it.
I don't know. I mean, if you were to mainline the story, I don't think you'd have a good time. And I know sometimes you do that, because I think the main story is pretty bad. But I don't even know why I brought it up initially. But that is kind of what I've been playing lately. Did you start playing that Shining game?
Shining Resonance?
I don't even want to call it a Shining game.
Oh, why?
Because it's. I mean. Do they still act like that's the same franchise as
Who's they?
Shining? Sega.
Who's they?
Sega. Fucking
Dude,
Sega.
I don't even think... I'm sure they... Well, what is the problem? So what's your background with Shining then? Tell me this. What is your... Huh? You ever play Shining Force?
No, I mean, listen. I've dabbled in Shining Force 2.
Okay.
But it's... I wasn't a...
And that's it?
No. Listen.
Force 2.
Listen.
I played one game. Okay.
And I played a little I'm not a huge Shining fan.
So what are you talking? What have been talking
But let me explain my history with Shining.
But I care about the franchise so much.
No.
How dare they call it Shining?
Well,
this game is not a true Resident Evil. I mean, Shining game.
Listen, it's mostly like empathy, you know, because
Empathy?
I've been there
For the
with
original
with
developers.
No. Let me explain myself.
Okay.
So I wasn't a Sega kid growing up, but
Right.
But you know, I had Nintendo and I had PlayStation, right? And you know, I was a big Final Fantasy Tactics fan, and I like Tactics Ogre, and I really got into strategy RPGs. So I always kind of looked at the Shining games, the Shining Force games, 1, 2, and 3, like not with jealousy, but as like, oh man,
Well,
I really want to play those someday.
Yeah.
And I did when the Sega Genesis collection came out, and I never played Shining Force 3 because that was a Saturn thing and rare and whatever. But I've always been kind of even when it came out, I was like kind of jealous of the Saturn people back then, right?
Sure.
And it's not so much that I was sad what happened to Shining Force. As a Shining Force fan, it was like I've been there with so many of my favorite franchises that it's a shame that it morphed into something that's so completely different.
You're talking about Sweet Cold.
Everything,
right?
fucking like Front Mission became a shooter. You know, it's so many things changed.
Well,
like Castlevania, you know, changed into something completely different. So, and it reminds me of a time when Sega was doing a lot of really cool shit. Phantasy Star is the same thing, you know? Like, why did Phantasy Star, why would that never come back as, like, a cool JRPG? Like, Sega just, maybe they don't have the talent anymore, but the woman who did Skies of Arcadia and also, what's her name? Reiko Kodama, who also worked on Valkyria Chronicles as well, right? Like, she's still, from what I understand, she's still at Sega.
Uh-huh.
Like, she could do something, right, with Phantasy Star, right? I did play Phantasy Star 4, and that's a really cool game. I kind of lump Phantasy Star and, like, Shining Force together because it reminds me of this era of Sega that even though I wasn't there, if I was a Sega kid, those would have been the ones
the games you were
I was playing. That would have been my Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy Tactics. So it's a shame that those have never come back. You know, it's, yeah.
So okay, and that's why you're upset about.
I'm not upset. I'm just, is it any fucking good? Have you played it yet?
Yeah, I haven't played too much. I played the openings. You're probably not gonna like it. There's big-breasted anime women and dragons and cute characters.
Well, the developer. So I believe, do you know the Valkyria Chronicles spin-off that they did that nobody liked?
Valkyria Revolution.
I'm sure it's like, was your game of the year or whatever.
Well, I started it this year.
Okay.
I'm about as far in that as I am.
You always find like the game that I wouldn't even give the time of day and play it and like really end up liking it.
You know why?
I don't think anybody liked that Valkyria game though.
But you know why?
Why?
Because David plays anything.
Is that the?
That's my new thing. You can't fit anything into Twitter though, so it just says David plays any.
But I never took it as, you know, any random fucking game.
I'll play anything.
I mean, that's cool because there are still certain genres that I don't mess with. Like
what?
I still don't. I still will never touch an RTS.
What's wrong with
So
okay, RTS.
So
because I was the only one who played StarCraft 2 back then.
I never finished the original StarCraft. I never even finished the original StarCraft. You know what? I was thinking really hard like a couple months ago, and I realized that I've only ever finished one RTS campaign. One. And you know what it is? Brutal Legend.
Oh my god, that's Brutal Legend. I remember that game.
I'd like to see you play a fucking JRPG because.
So which one then? Which JRPG do I play?
I don't know. Everyone's all about this Octopath Traveler, but
thanks a lot, dude. Nin Jump still great. I went back and replayed it again recently. Actually, Nin Jump still a fantastic game. It's backward compatible on Xbox One.
You know, I recently listened to that podcast, that top 5, just randomly. We did the top 10 of the year. I went back and I listened to that one for reasons. I don't know. I was trying to. I think I was trying to listen to what Nick said or I said about something, and I just listened to the whole thing. And I remember when you got tier 1, and you said nin jump, we were like, "What the fuck?" And it wasn't just because
was it my number 1 that year?
It was your number 1.
That's
and it wasn't just that we were like, "What the fuck? Why would that be your number 1?" It was that we did this whole long ass awards show and went all the way up to number 1, and you never brought it even up once for any of the other awards. So it was such a surprise when you said it, you know, because you didn't give it like best graphics or anything or best story. You know, it was just your favorite game. So it was. We were like, what?
It was so fast paced. It's just so fast paced. It's just Twitch based reaction, kind of like how Celeste is now.
Yeah.
But nah, Celeste drives me crazy, dude.
Celeste, that's one that I really enjoyed. I really want to finish, but it's on a handheld, and I play my handheld games very slowly because I got it on Switch.
Dude, I don't even play my 3DS anymore. It sucks. It's very, very. I have Detective Pikachu sitting there waiting for me.
You're gonna play your 3DS in a few weeks, though, right?
For what?
I feel like I'm the only person on the planet who's excited about this game, but I know you're probably gonna get it.
On 3DS, let me look at my 3DS list. In a few weeks?
Yeah, a couple of weeks, a few weeks.
In August?
Yeah.
We Happy Few?
Oh my god. WarioWare Gold.
Oh yeah! I didn't know you were into WarioWare Gold. That's right on my list, right here. Look, I was looking at my list right here. Look, it says WarioWare Gold 8.3.
Well, why the fuck did you not say that? Like
because who the fuck plays WarioWare Gold? You're not gonna play that shit.
I absolutely am gonna play it. I bring it up on the podcast, and everyone looks at me like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I'm trying not to get too excited because. But the last time I got really excited about a WarioWare game, it was a lot of recycled, like, you know?
Sure, but, like, it's all voice... Have you read much about it?
No.
So, like, it's all voice acted now, which is weird, right?
But so Wario's gonna be talking?
Yeah, he's talking, like, full, like, you know, Charles Martinet, like, straight up talking. But... But there's, like, a thing in there, and I briefly saw this.
So let me ask you a question.
It lets you go in there and re-record all the dialogue with your own voice.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking bizarre.
Dude, fuck.
Well, but what I like about this one is it combines all of them because of the functionality of the 3DS. It has Twisted, it has touch. Yeah. It's cool. I've always liked WarioWare. I've just always been kind of bad at it. Same with Rhythm Heaven. There's like
WarioWare's... Yeah.
Did you ever see the clip of me doing Rhythm Heaven trying to do the monkeys on the clock?
Oh yeah, and you freaking out because you were like,
I'm fucking so bad at it.
That's so good. I love it. Dude, uki. It's so great. I love that. I love that game.
Yeah.
I love that game. So, in your opinion, which WarioWare character is the cutest?
Okay, I don't know, dude. One of the many
Mona, or is it
one
Ashley?
of the many girls.
There's not really that many girls. There's only like 3. Unless you...
Later,
it's gotta be Mona, right? Mona Pizza. It's something gonna eat. And then those are we talking about the pizza dinosaur.
Is WarioWare still Intelligent Systems?
Yeah, I would assume so.
I'm so my fellow Codename Steam fan.
You say Advanced Wars, right?
Oh, yeah. You are like the only other person on the planet who gets
Codename Steam.
Codename Steam,
dude. Codename Steam is one of.
It's so good.
Hold on. What? Hold.
What? They're so cheap, but I already know what you're about to show me.
So I've been hoarding up all these copies of Codename Steam. Every time it goes on sale for like $5, I buy up a copy.
I feel like
holiday season they clearanced out a bunch. It was like $3, and I just basically bought out every Codename Steam there was like in the Best Buy area.
I feel like hoarding implies that someone else actually wants them.
Well, here's the thing though. Here's the thing is I'm waiting for somebody to come by my house, like be in my room, and be like, "What? Why do you have so many copies of Codename Steam? Is that any good?"
You're just gonna hand them one.
Here you go. I'm just gonna hand him a copy of Codename Steam. Play it for yourself. That game is so fucking good. You know, I 100% of that game. Like, I got every gear and all the items and did everything in that game. like everything.
You know, Jack's been giving me random copies of Jericho on PC. Just like occasionally when he sees me, he'll hand me a copy. You want to know something really weird? On PC, yeah. Just because I think they're like they like give them away at half price books. I don't know where he gets them from, but do you know that where I work, there's a Whataburger down the street, and it's near where Jack works, right? And
so y'all meet up at Whataburger?
No. We've never actually intentionally tried to meet up at Whataburger. I do the drive-through. He does the drive-through, right? But there was a time, I don't go as much anymore, right? There was a time when I first started working there, and I went like once, like every 2 weeks for like a couple of months, right? So like on 4 different occasions, I went to this Whataburger, spread apart, and he was there every single time. And he would drive up to my car, like next to my car, and like fucking wave at me or shake his fist. But you understand what that means is that he was probably there every single time. Every single time.
That guy is going to have a massive heart attack.
Yeah, well, yeah, something.
I can't believe he still eats like that, dude. He's not as skinny. I haven't seen him in a good couple years, but he's not as skinny as he used to be, right?
Nah, he's still pretty skinny.
Oh, really? He's got a pretty round face from all the pictures I've seen.
What were we talking about? Oh, Codename Steam. Oh, okay. So I'm so mad at Intelligent Systems. I hate all these new Fire Emblem fans. I mean,
these are all sealed, by the way. These are sealed copies.
I'm sure.
If anybody's interested in one, send me an email. I will send you.
You like Advance Wars, right?
I love.
Okay, I also love Advance Wars. We've both known that we are Advance Wars.
The thing I don't like about Advance Wars is that you end up playing that game until 5 o'clock in the morning. Just be like, one more turn, let me finish this through, and then all of a sudden it's 5 o'clock in the morning. You're like, fuck.
No, it's super fucking addictive. I love Advance Wars. I 2 things. I'm super mad. Well, let me just rant about Advance Wars for a second.
Rant?
I am so mad at Nintendo that they have not put like Andy, you know, or Smash Brothers. Because there is no good Advance Wars merchandise
mad, but now
anywhere.
I'm super mad.
There is no Advance Wars merchandise. It doesn't exist. There's no cool toys or shirts.
You imagine this shirt, but with the wrench on it.
But the thing about Smash Brothers is every motherfucker gets an amiibo. Every motherfucker. So that's guaranteed Advance Wars merchandise. And that series has been around since the Famicom. Like, there is no reason that they should have snubbed it for this long, because those games were critically acclaimed on the GBA and the DS. And
well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You're a big Fire Emblem fan.
I mean, I used to be.
Okay, so you don't like any of these new iterations?
Some of them I don't like.
I
didn't like Fates. I obviously don't like the mobile one.
Okay, but you liked Awakening.
Shadows of Valencia was pretty good. Awakening, I liked and disliked. But yeah,
okay, and you didn't. I'm assuming you didn't play the Switch Fire Emblem.
The Switch one.
Yeah, the Dynasty Warriors Musou.
Oh, no.
Okay, so let me ask you a quick. So Fire Emblem has taken on a new life because why?
Because Awakening was really successful. Because it.
But
did
why?
All the,
because of the tactics?
The waifu shit, man. Come on.
So it's not the tactics.
No, it was all the.
You can hook up with different characters and have kids.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy because at the time it was such a positive evolution of the support system, but it became people kind of. I mean, I don't know. Awakening was fine. Listen, I want to go back to Advance Wars. Like, Codename Steam came out and it bombed, right?
Yeah,
right?
It's sad.
But
there's still probably copies sitting at Best Buy right now.
I feel like Intelligent Systems and Nintendo threw the baby out with the bathwater on that one. Like, sure, it didn't sell, but like the core gameplay to that game was still like really fresh, and
absolutely.
I feel like
Queequeg. I was bombing people with penguins
I know.
from across the map with Queequeg. I would just set the penguin and it goes.
I've been saying
walk across the fucking map and blowing people across.
I've been saying it since Codename Steam came out. The way Intelligent Systems don't throw out what you accomplish. The way Intelligent Systems brings back Advance Wars is you do a new version of Codename Steam, but you play as the CEOs from Advance Wars. That's how you bring Advance Wars back, and that's how you keep what was awesome about Codename Steam, but have it maybe be more successful.
But what about the characters in Codename Steam?
It doesn't matter. It bombed. No one cares. A sequel to that game doesn't get made. But like,
I can spoil this, right? I can spoil this because I'm assuming anybody who wanted to play Codename Steam would have played it already by now, right?
No one here played that game, but me
I know,
and you.
but you know what the best part in Codename Steam was? The biggest surprise is like you get the lion, right? Yeah. Early on, you get the lion, and then later on, the next person you get who? What's the order that you get him in?
The lion's the third, I think.
No, the lion's at first because you get him early because he's got his jump.
Yeah, you get him early. Well, he's the first
third
new character.
Overall. Okay, I thought you meant third, like out of that set of characters. Remember?
I think you get like Tom Sawyer, maybe.
But no, Tom Sawyer's not part of that group.
Oh, you're talking about the
lion.
Crew.
You get the Tin Man. Then you get like
Dorothy. She's the secret.
You get Dorothy, and then and there's 4 of them, right? Tin Man, Scarecrow. Oh, you get the Scarecrow, right? And then I was running my Wizard of Oz crew, running around. It was so great, dude. It was fucking good because Dorothy had those speed shoes, and she'd go boo, and she'd speed across the map and get to the other side. And I would get behind the enemy lines where they all had turrets set up. And then from the other side, bam, 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 I would shoot all of them down. They turn around, and then I just clobber them with all my other guys.
Character variety and map design was the reason that game was so fucking cool. And so that's what I'm saying. You bring that over into the Advance Wars universe, and
you have Andy like running around with guns.
Yes, he's like the fucking Tom Sawyer or whatever. You know, like you could do something like that. You know, like Max is like Lion, right?
So they don't jump around. They have like tank abilities or what?
Well, so you know what I think? I think maybe Codename Steam started as some sort of Advance Wars reboot. Because remember, there's a couple missions where there's just like a tank, like it's not even really explained why it's there, and you can use the tank. But I have a feeling that that's probably like some leftover Advance Wars shit.
Would it work, dude? Would Advance Wars work like that?
I mean, it's a different game, but they're obviously not making regular ass Advance Wars games because they don't sell in Japan, and they stopped the sales slowed down here, and they did.
Whoa! There was an Advance War-ish type of game coming out on Switch. It didn't. I don't think it's out yet.
Wargroove.
Is it out?
It's an indie game clone. Yeah, it's not out yet. No, but it looks cool. But it's not gonna be the same. It's gonna be cool, but it's not gonna be the same. There's a certain weird charm to Advance Wars that I'm gonna miss.
Okay, so you know what I blame this on? I blame this on you guys not liking the Advance War game Days of Ruin. There it is. That's what it's called.
Okay, first of all,
I fucking love Days of Ruin, dude.
Better
than Dual Strike.
Come on, dog. Like, listen, I really like Days of Ruin, and I did finish it, but I skipped every cutscene.
No. Then you skipped half of the game.
It was too self-serious. I missed the... And it was really ugly, too. You gotta admit. It was... Like, the gameplay and stuff was really ugly.
If I could stream my DS games, I'd be playing that game.
Do you know Days of Ruin didn't come out in Japan? When that game came out? And it wasn't until they did a Nintendo Club reward...
Really?
It came out in Japan finally, like years later, as a Nintendo Club reward thing. Maybe just digitally. I don't even know. But I always thought that was crazy.
Games back then.
Well, yeah, I guess it was physical. But at launch, it didn't come out in Japan, and I thought that's a sign that Japan really didn't care about that series. So that's probably why it's not in Smash. It's probably why we haven't gotten a sequel.
Why not? Because if they put them in Smash, it doesn't... There's not that much investment in Smash, right?
What are you talking about?
I'm saying if you put him into Smash, that's not much of an investment, right? You're not putting him into Smash and then being like, oh, he's a terrible character. Nobody's going to buy Smash ever anymore.
Yeah, they have ridiculous characters in Smash from like even smaller properties.
No, but you remember that's where Ness came from, right? Because they put Ness into Smash, and then all of a sudden there became this like, oh, who's Ness? Where's he coming from?
Same with Fire Emblem. Yeah.
Right? And then, exactly. So they could do the exact same thing with... Oh, my gosh.
But that's the thing. Earthbound or Mother and Fire Emblem were already popular in Japan. We just didn't really know much about them, And people
Sure.
did play Earthbound back in the day. Some people, but I feel like if Japan doesn't really care, I don't think the character's getting in. Which is probably why we haven't seen Andy or Sammy is who I really.
Sammy.
It just
Well,
I want a Sammy amiibo. Also, I want Wonder Red or the Wonderful 101. I like that's.
I still need to go back and play that.
It's a Nintendo thing, David. You will absolutely hate that game because you don't like Platinum games. But
I don't like.
I tried to
Platinum
hard sell you on this, and I really meant it because I promise you, and just play on easy, or play with someone else.
I do play on easy. I try to play Bayonetta. It's
No,
just the
fuck
way they
Bayonetta.
make games, dude. It's just the
You're
way
never
they
gonna
play.
like
make
Bayonetta. That listen. Wonderful 101 is the one. Trust me. Play with someone else in the room. Let them play it. Just watch that game until the
Come
credits
down
roll.
to Houston, dude. Come down to Houston. Come down to Houston. I will watch you stream the whole
Have
thing.
a child. Listen.
Okay, bring him along, dude. Bring the whole family.
Listen.
Bring the whole family, dude. You have a little cheering section behind you. We'll have like thunder sticks and glow sticks and everything going on.
If you get to the end, the
I
credits of
didn't
that
hear an
game.
answer. Yes or no,
No,
Brad?
I'm not.
Will you
not
come
coming to
down
fucking Houston.
and stream the Wonderful 101 because it's such a great game?
Listen,
and you said-
I've been to Houston once.
Yeah, that sucks that your family moved away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not all of my family. I'm saying
Just
it's
the
so
ones
hard
you
for
care.
me to travel right now that there are family members who've seen Henry one time, and he's older now. And the point is, I would really love to go to Houston, but it's been hard for me. What I'm saying is, you get to the credits of the Wonderful 101, and I guarantee you will love that game.
If I get to the credits, I have to get all the way to the credits.
The reason I
I
say
won't
that
like the game before that.
there's going to be large portions of that game you hate, but I'm telling you, Platinum Games has tried to fuck with like mini games and stuff like in their games like in the past, like the fucking horrible bike sequence or the missile sequence from Bayonetta. I absolutely hate that shit. But I feel like they finally nailed some of that stuff in the Wonderful 101, especially some of like the punch out stuff towards the end. But the point is, the Wonderful 101 has the best final act of any video game I've ever played. And that's in terms of the story and like the escalation and how crazy things are getting. And by the end, there's like a quick time event that's like the best one I've ever done.
Right? Is it like the Metal Gear Solid 5 microwave? Metal Gear Solid.
It is
microwave
similar
room?
to that, but so much
Oh,
better.
No, I didn't like the microwave room. By the way,
I
Thought that
know,
was
it's
dumb.
stupid. I know what you're talking about. Fuck that microwave sequence. But trust me. Everyone who I convinced to
Okay, I will make you a deal.
yeah.
I will make you a deal. You finish Blinks the Time Sweeper.
What the
and I will
fuck
finish
are you
Wonderful
talking
101.
about? What
Blinks the
fuck
Time
are you
Sweeper.
talking-
If you get to the credits of Blinks the Time Sweeper, you will think that is the best game. Don't look it up. Don't look it up right now. Don't go on YouTube and look up the credits to the Blinks the Time Sweeper. Blinks the Time Sweeper has one of the best endings in video games history. Absolutely.
You know, the only
I asked you a long time ago to play that game, and you played it a little bit, and you said it sucks, and then you never played it again. You remember that?
how do I
Remember when
even
we
play
used to
that
do this?
anymore? I think I might have.
It's backward compatible. Xbox One. Go pick up that slim one from half price books tomorrow.
You can't see me right now, but I'm flipping through my original Xbox titles.
Blinks the Time Sweeper, I think, is $10 digitally downloaded because you can download those games digitally. Because you put the Xbox One disc in, but it just downloads to your console.
Listen, dog, I got a CRT. I have all my shit hooked up. I'm just gonna play it as it was originally intended.
Sure, if you have Blinks.
Well, I don't know. I have one.
The day you start up Blinks, message me. I'll drop everything. I'll start up Wonderful 101.
But I thought you were gonna say something like a little more modern, or
What are we talking about, dude? It's it's the credit scenes. You have
The
to
thing
see
is,
the credit.
you're gonna hate certain aspects.
And you're gonna hate certain aspects of Blinks the Time Sweeper, like the final boss rush at the end. You're gonna hate that. But you know what? You can call up your buddy David, and I'll tell you the tips on how to beat it.
Can I say everybody I convinced that was involved with the site at the time?
Yeah.
To
I know.
finish Wonderful 101, put it as their favorite game of that year.
That year or afterwards, after the fact. I don't doubt that. I've always wanted. You know how many times I played that demo when we were at E3 that year? Like I just basically spent I played that demo like 5, 6, 7 times. The staff knew me, and they were like laughing that I kept going back because I was kept trying to beat the demo.
Okay, I have it. I didn't know if it was Blinks 1 or 2, but I have the Time Sweeper.
Blinks the Time Sweeper.
It's not.
I'll make you a video. I'll make you a video with the 2 tips. Because
okay. I'm not saying no, but if you had to name one other game that's not Blinks, what would it be?
One other game that's not Blinks.
Yeah.
Let's
say my Blinks disc doesn't work.
I'm gonna have to go look around and figure out what other games I really
Prince
like.
Vorkin so much though that you're gonna run into some roadblocks. Just play on easy, and
I can't do it, dude. I can't play on easy.
No, but it's not like
my machismo won't allow me to play on easy.
Yeah, I've seen machismo before ruin people in games. I remember when Carlos got Shadows of the Damned.
By the sword.
And he was like, "Fuck this! I'm playing on hard," and he couldn't beat a fucking boss.
I don't need to play on hard. I just want to play on normal. Whatever the thing says normal, that's what I'll play as.
Man, if you watch some videos, like some short guides on how to play it good, there's a short video that I always link people who before they play Wonderful 101. I don't think you'll watch it, but.
No, send it to me. I'll watch it. How long is it?
It's short. It's just a better tutorial than anything that the game gives you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I promise you, if you beat Blinks the Time Sweeper, it is absolutely one of the most.
How long is Blinks the Time Sweeper? How long is Blinks? It's 40 hours long. Yeah.
How did you look it up?
How long to beat? No.
Okay. I beat that game in college, so
it's probably like 5 hours long.
No, I'm gonna say
it's gonna say not enough data.
9 hours.
Really?
It says 9 hours, 13 hours completionist. 9 hours, you could do it. 9 hours is nothing, dude.
No, man. Does anyone here want to see me stream Blinks the Time Sweeper?
The thing is, you have to get them to sit through the entire thing and get to the ending. Because if you get to the ending, once those credits roll, Brad.
Is it just a cutscene? Are we talking about a cutscene?
I'll answer my question. What about Wonderful One? What is it?
It is way more than a cutscene.
Okay, then same thing for you.
It is like the last 3 hours of that game.
It's the last. Yes, same thing. It's the last. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, did you know someone's finally working on a proper original Xbox emulator? It's been like forever. Like, just to.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. Maybe I'll emulate Blinks.
Emulate Blinks. If you emulate it, then you can save state or something.
No. Oh, is it like? It's not like bullshit. Like, oh, you ran out of lives. Do everything over again. Is it?
No, but the most frustrating thing, I'll tell you this honestly, the most frustrating thing about Blinks is that you suck up trash and then you have to shoot at bad guys, and the shoot mechanic doesn't always work right. Like when you shoot, sometimes you'll shoot it and it'll just fly off and it won't hit shit.
Okay. I mean, you're playing a game designed by Hideki Kamiya, so.
And another thing is that when you collect the gems, like you have to collect 3 gems. You have 4 slots, right? You have to collect 3 of the gems to get the power to rewind or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, sometimes you'll have to go back into other levels and grind like gems. But I mean, it's easy if you just pay attention to where they are in the level. Like you can always find a place where in the very beginning you walk into the level and there's like gems right there, and you get them. The problem is like you'll be dodging dudes sometimes, and you get like 1 gem, 2 gem, and whoops, I got the wrong color. Whoops, I got the wrong color. Start over again, because it just wipes it. It's like a Tetris, like Ikaruga color matching thing. If you can get all 4 gems of the same color, it'll give you double 2 gems of that, 2 rewind gems or 2 pause gems.
All right, I'll fuck around with it. At the very least, I'll start it and we'll see where it goes from there. But the Wonderful 101 is a much longer game and challenging. I mean, it's, I don't know. Did you have anything else like written down that you wanted to talk about specifically?
Why? Yeah, I mean, I have some stuff written down.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
Well, okay. You always get what you want, though. I'm just letting you know that.
What does that mean?
Like I know there's a lot of games you're like, oh man, we'll never see a blah blah blah. We'll never see a blah blah
Dude,
blah.
what
But
the
you always do. Always do. I was so.
What does that mean?
You know, one of these videos.
Where's Front Mission?
It was
Where's
so.
Suikoden?
I was so upset. There was one year where you were at E3 and you were being sourpuss Brad and you were like, here's your E3, and they're like announcing stuff, and then they're like Yoko, what's his name? Yoko Taro, Yoko Kanno,
Yoko Taro?
Whatever's-
Nier
guy, right?
Yeah.
And they say, oh, this, and then you're like, oh, it couldn't be Nier, and they're like Platinum Games, and you're like, oh no, couldn't be no Nier, and then it comes Nier. And you're grumpy ass. You go watch that video. You wanna smile because inside you're so happy, but you were grumpy that entire.
That is not what that video is.
You were so grumpy the entire time that you were like, you couldn't just have all of a sudden flip the script and just be like, yeah.
Listen, I've been hurt so much that I don't let myself get my hopes up at these things before. Like when I saw Samus Returns, and then like, you seen that video where
Yes.
Samus Returns, and then someone says like, I think they just said Mercury Steam, and then I'm like, everyone shut the fuck up. I
know. I remember this
too many times I've had
but that
things
was
I've
after the
loved
fact.
die.
Samus Returns was last year. That was after the fact. This is way after Nier.
No, but
that's what I'm saying. You had a Phantom Dust. They reported it. They were going to make a new one.
they canceled it.
I know. I didn't realize that was cancellation, but you got Phantom Dust.
You're right.
You got Nier.
Them even announcing that was like so crazy at the time. But
Bayonetta 2.
I don't even like Bayonetta 2 that much.
And you got a Bayonetta 3 now.
I mean, that's exciting, but again, I didn't like Bayonetta 2 that much.
You remember when we were in that? I loved it, dude. That was one of my proudest moments, us going to E3. But like, you remember when we were in that one? We were sitting in that one Sega room, right? It was you, me, and I think maybe Nick was there, and we were sitting there for the Bayonetta demonstration.
Yeah.
I fucking love this so much, dude. That's one of my proudest moments. I still tell people like that I talk to about the show. Like, I still tell that story because I remember we were sitting there. Atsushi Inaba was in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember if Kamiya was there. I don't think Kamiya was there because
No.
I don't think you ever met Kamiya. But we were sitting in that room.
No, I
and then,
did
like,
actually.
You met him?
Mm-hmm.
Not at that time though, right?
No, not at that time.
Okay, so we were sitting in that room, and then I remember like they were like, "Okay, we play this video, okay?" And then they're like, "Okay, we're gonna open up the floor. Anybody have some questions?" And then like some dude next to us was like, they were doing the typical reporter thing. He's like, "Oh yeah, so how many levels can we expect to see in this game?" He was like, "How many levels can we expect to see in this game?" And he was like, so yeah, we're gonna have this levels and and then I remember that it came to you for the question, and you were like, so I noticed that Bayonetta is skating around on ice skates. Can you talk about the properties of her different different weapons? And he was like, we can't go into that details. That's something we're trying to keep secret.
I always ask the kind of questions that fucking get those kinds of answers.
No, and I love it, dude. It was the greatest because everybody else was asking like how many levels there gonna be.
How long is the game?
Yeah, how long is the game? Just typical like reporter bullshit that like you're not really going in depth in the game at all. You know, you just like just going down the checklist of questions. It was the best, dude. I remember just laughing inside so hard. You're like. Yeah, I saw that she has the ice skates, and then she also has these, other weapons. So, like, how can you tell me the properties? It's like I remember there was something some Halo panel you were telling me about that you had gone to, where everyone was just asking questions, and then some kid, like the innocence of a child. He walked up there and he was like, "Are you guys gonna bring back the SMG or something like that?" Just some weird question about the rifle, whatever.
Battle
I can't
rifle?
remember. Battle rifle. Maybe that was it.
God, it's been a long time since I cared about Halo.
Yeah, but I remember.
we did we did up to our top 25 games of all time before we finally stopped doing that.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that? And
Yeah, back then,
yeah.
dude, mine's probably changed a lot since then.
Oh
dude.
yeah, mine too. But on my 20 through 25, I had Halo 2.
Oh, Jesus.
Because I played so much multiplayer back then for that. But I never
Nerd.
play multiplayer games now.
So tell me about Diablo 3. Did you ever?
No. I mean,
Find out
I
what
have
Diablo-
played it and I hate it. It's boring. I don't like it.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
It's just boring. I can go into why, but it's a different game. It's a different kind of game.
No, that's what I was hearing. So I was just wondering if you had ever actually given it a try or.
Oh, yeah, I have, because I've played it with Malia. So.
Damn it. Let me ask you a question. Are there any Sammy cosplays? Like anybody ever cosplay as Sammy?
I got a Kanbei at PAX one year.
Uh-huh.
And no one else. I don't even think fucking knew who he was, but I did, and I was like super excited. Yeah, yeah. Or it was it was Kanbei, but
Colin?
No, not Colin.
Dude,
I could dress up Henry as Colin, and I'll be what should I be? I don't know.
In Advance Wars. I'm gonna go play that game, dude.
No, I love Advance Wars.
Dude, it's
I
such a sweet feeling.
What?
That game, dude. You have such sweet feelings, dude, when you play that game. And you get I used to roll with a bunch of rocket launchers and just have them like cover each other's asses, you know?
Yeah.
Like just like you do with tanks in StarCraft. You have like some rocket launchers in the front and some rocket launchers in the back, and the front ones just go up, shoot their load off, and take the damage. But because everyone stops to shoot that front row, you just have the back row completely wipe them all out.
Grit was so overpowered in the first Advance Wars. The fucking it kills me. I've come to resent Fire Emblem because they've not been making Advance Wars, and I feel like that's unfair because I used to be a big Fire Emblem fan.
You know what I'm gonna think? I'm gonna pop in. I'm gonna pop in Battalion Wars.
Oh Jesus! Like the GameCube one or the Wii one?
I have both. So
yeah, me too. I think the Wii one is like better received because the Wii controls at the time maybe helped it out a little bit, but I've never actually played more than half an hour of either.
Yeah.
What else is coming out soon that you're interested?
Okay, so I'll look at my list. I'll show. So WarioWare Gold.
What's with
Dead
that?
Cells,
What's
you
with
heard
this Dead Cells? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So do you play like indie shit these days?
I play everything, dude. David plays anything.
Are you gonna play
Chasm? I played some of Hollow Knight, but
we're not gonna. Let's not get into Hollow Knight.
I probably have to play some more of that game.
That is one of my favorite games of all time now,
dude. I don't know what's the deal with that.
Let's not. Hey,
Penguin
are
Wars?
you
Are you gonna pick up Penguin Wars?
I don't even know what that is.
Penguin Wars, dude. It's a
what was
old
that
Game Boy
fishing
PC
game
arcade
that
game.
you took?
Ace of Seafood. I think it's an Ace Combat game, but with fish.
What? Wait, are you gonna play Chasm?
Chasm? I have not heard of Chasm. What's Chasm?
Oh man, look up Chasm. It's coming out at the end of this month.
CHAZM.
CHASM. Okay, let me ask you something because I always find this sort of weird. How have you not gotten into a Yakuza game?
I beat Yakuza Dead Souls this year.
Okay, which is fine.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I've heard Dead Souls it has its charms, but
the thing is, you know what they need to do? They need to make a Yakuza Dead Souls 2.
Oh my god!
In the new engine.
I'm just saying, like, how have you not tried Yakuza 0 and just gone and done like karaoke and the side quests? Like that stuff is so good.
Yakuza 0. My problem with Yakuza 0 is that all the combat and stuff is all
It's terrible.
like, well, it's not that it's just that it's terrible. It's that it's very like, you run, hey, and then somebody runs up to you, and then you have to stop, and you have to fight them, and then you turn around, you run away, and then like, I remember I started up Zero. I bought Zero day one. I was running around, getting stuff, and some big burly dude walked up to me and was like, "Yo, give me all your money," and I was like, "No," and he's like, "We're gonna fight for it," and then he like punched me once, and I died, and he took half my money, and I was like,
Yeah, you fight him repeatedly throughout the game.
yeah, and I was like,
Yeah, you know, in Yakuza 6 has a new engine, and now there's no barriers to combat.
really?
Yeah, so you could just fucking run away from.
That Song of Life?
Yeah, you could just run
Maybe I
away
picked
from
that
people.
game up.
I think you'd like it. I think you'd like it. It
Somebody-
is a
Jack-
smaller, more manageable Yakuza
Really?
game.
Jack told me I had to beat. He told me to finish Yakuza 0 before going to Kiwami, and then from Kiwami going on to Kiwami 2.
I completely agree. For almost anybody, I recommend Yakuza 2 is to start with 0, but
Uh-huh.
I think you would find
6 more palatable.
the thing is I don't think you can get through. I don't think you'd probably get through 0.
Ho, ho, ho.
That's not a challenge. I'm just saying there's a lot of barriers there. While Yakuza 6, I mean, you won't really know what's going on, but they introduce new characters that you could still like, despite not knowing the grander story.
I also can't do the whole like in Zero. I got to the point where this dude had to cut off his finger, and I was like, I don't want to see this dude. I'm not good with blood and stuff. Like after he cut his finger off, I like lost all feeling in my hands. I couldn't pick up the controller. I was like, and that was it. I think that's the last time I played it.
It's the side stories though. Like they're so
the side
goofy.
stories are so.
They're so
There was, like,
funny
some-
though.
There was no, but here's the thing. Here's the difference, okay? Whereas you guys get all crazy about these side Japanese stories, what do you think I'm doing when I go to Japan?
What does that mean? They're like insane stories.
Exactly, and I'm living them. I'm going to Japan, running around.
So you think
running
maybe
into these people on
Yakuza
the
doesn't
street.
really have as much of a
doesn't have that draw
magical
to me.
effect on you?
Part of the draw of Yakuza is like being in Japan, the like mystical land where you're running around and
The-
experiencing the craziness of like the karaoke or the batters
starting with Yakuza 0, they got a new localizer, and like the localization has gotten really good and really funny. And I'm telling you, some of these side stories are really, really
Is it
fucking
kaiju?
good. It's like the fucking Onamichio stuff from Yakuza 6. This shit's so funny. Like it's little things. It's the character of Kazuma, who is, you know, in the main story he's like this badass, legendary badass, right? But in these side stories he's just like this heart of gold. He has this heart of gold, and he gets into these stupidest situations, and it's little tiny things. Like one side quest, there was a girl who's like, I just traveled through time. And he's like, yeah, sure. And she's like, no, I really did. But then it was this back and forth conversation where she didn't really have anything to like prove to him that she actually did.
Uh-huh.
And it goes on from there, but I'm not going to explain how that ends. But it's just the way he talks to people is so funny. It's so fucking funny. Oh man, it's the little things. You really should play at least one of those games to the end, because I think you'd like them.
So 6. Am I gonna really miss out on the story that much?
Yeah, I mean, to some degree, but I mean, I didn't finish 4 and I didn't play through 5, but I still really like 6. You know, I finished 6. The reason I played through 6 is because Yakuza 0, which is my favorite in the series now, I absolutely fucking loved, and that kind of got me into Yakuza again. So I'm also going to pick
Zero,
up
you still
Kiwami
think
2.
you still think 0 is better than 6?
Yes, absolutely.
And 0 is the same engine as 6, or 6 is a new engine?
6 is the new engine.
It is a new engine, right?
But
Okay.
it's got some rough issues because of it's a new engine. But it's finally like it feels a lot more open. You know, like everything is seamless. You can walk in and out of stuff. You're not getting like hung up on walls and objects as you're trying to run around the city. Now he just sort of like pushes shit out of the way. There's like physics and stuff now, so it, like the frame rate kind of takes a hit. It's not as smooth as like Yakuza 0, but you can tell they're really trying to be more ambitious with the.
You said Zero's your favorite.
Yes.
You said Zero's your favorite, and you said Zero is the one you would recommend to anybody starting the series.
Yes.
But 6 is from this year, right?
Yeah, 6 is from this year.
I'm trying to play games for this year.
Well, Kiwami 2. So before Yakuza 0, Yakuza 2 was my favorite Yakuza game.
Really?
And what's cool about Kiwami 2 is you're getting the remake of 2, but in the Yakuza 6 engine, the newer engine, which is I think it's a little more polished too because it came out a little bit later. But like the combat's really bad in 6 and Kiwami from what I played at the demo. Like the new engine, the combat, it didn't get better. It somehow got worse, to be honest. But if you're gonna play, I would almost recommend Kiwami 2 instead of Yakuza 6, just because.
What the fuck?
Well, I feel like the real weakness of the Kiwami games is that they almost feel like expansion packs. Kiwami 1 felt like an expansion to Yakuza 0. Like it was everything was like the fucking same outside of the story. So I don't really recommend people go directly from 0 to Kiwami. But if they just play Kiwami, then it wouldn't feel like an expansion. It would just feel like an original game. So if you didn't play 6 and you just play Kiwami 2, you wouldn't feel like burnt out, like it's just a rehash. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the reason I think you like 6 is because I know you know about Haruka, and there's something involving the story that with her that's really high stakes.
What does that even mean, dude?
Like I think you'd be like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? I don't know.
I'm up for anything, dude. I'm really wanting to play a lot of stuff.
What does chat think?
There's not enough time.
What does chat think? What should David? What Yakuza game should David play? The thing is, Yakuza 0 is really long, and how much 0 did you play?
Maybe 2 hours.
Did you play as Majima?
Mm-mm.
Okay, you know what? I changed my mind. Play 0. Get to the part where the introduction of Majima, and then I think you'll know if
I'd have to start the game over again. I don't think I would just jump in and start playing again.
Really? It wasn't that long ago.
No, I mean I'd start over again from where I was starting.
The thing is, every Yakuza game starts so slow, and once you get over a hump and you start doing side quests and stuff, it's really fucking good. It's really good. Can I tell you how Yakuza 6 starts? Like literally the start, setup. I mean, you've seen the cover, right?
Yeah.
You've seen the cover.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kiryu and then Haruka, and then she's holding a baby.
Right.
Can I tell you how the setup?
Well, why wouldn't you be able to?
Well, because it might sound spoilery if you've played Yakuza from the beginning, but if it's just the setup for this one story, it might not be spoilery. Well, okay. Somebody runs over Haruka, and it's sort of this quest to find out, like
in the beginning of the game.
Like,
so this is with baby or without baby?
Well, so what happens is you're at the orphan. You're in prison because you go to the prison at the end of Yakuza 5, right? And you get out and you go to the orphanage. You know,
you're in prison again, dude.
You go to the orphanage and you're like, well, where's Haruka? And all the kids are like, we thought you would know. And no one knows where Haruka is. So he goes to Kamurocho to find out.
What the fuck is this fucking TV drama bullshit?
Fucking listen. Well, that's Yakuza. Listen. So he goes to Kamurocho trying to find out where the fuck Haruka is, and he finally finds out that she's been in this horrible accident. She's in a coma in the hospital because someone ran her over in a car.
You don't even see her in the game.
You go to the well, you do. You go to the hospital to like, because you finally found out where Haruka is, and you're like, oh my god, like, where's Haruka? And they're like, listen, it's bad. She's in a coma. Also, she was holding this baby, and we're pretty sure this is her kid because she threw herself in front of the car, or to protect the baby, the way she was like clutching it. So, and they just give you, or you kidnap this baby. Because you're afraid. So the story is about like what's going on, like who tried to. did Haruka get run over by an accident, or is or
Well, I already know, 'cause
is
you
the
slipped up, you
Yakuza
said
involved?
who tried to kill Haruka?
Yeah, and he's like, listen, if I find out that Yakuza's involved, I'm killing all of y'all. So it's a cool setup to like kind of this mystery of.
Did you ever watch the Yakuza movie?
No,
Oh.
no, I didn't. It's bad, right?
I don't know.
I don't want to watch that stuff. I don't want to watch the live action Witcher.
How about the live action Phoenix Wright?
No, I watched like a clip of that and it looked. No, I don't want to watch that. Yeah, I don't want to watch that. Anyways, I gotta go to bed soon.
It's okay. So that means now, or you want to wrap it up with something?
Do you have any final thoughts?
Are you not interested in Survive? How much of Survive did you play?
I played it at E3.
That's it?
Yeah.
Why do people hate this game so
the
much?
thing
I don't
is,
get it.
well, hey, come on. There's a lot of baggage with the Metal Gear series, with Kojima. You
With
got
Konami.
to understand with Konami. You got to understand that to some extent, even if you don't
No, I do,
identify
but-
with that.
But as far as a game, does that mean the game's not
I think
good?
a lot of people just didn't play it.
No, but they didn't play it, yet they had no problem shitting on it.
You know,
That's my
you know
problem.
what's funny? We all went into, it was me, Chris Davis, and Crispy. We all went into this Metal Gear Survive demo. It was like upstairs behind closed doors thing to play the game, and you know, I was like I was like, fuck this shit, right? Going in, you know, I was like that, right? But we ended up laughing so hard during that demo just because when you go into the screen before you load into a map, you're like in some fucking like
White.
nothing, right?
Right. It's like the Matrix loading space or something.
Yeah, and the guy walking around who works for Konami is like, all right, everyone go stand on this the yellow square so we can start the fucking mission. But I had laid down all these oil traps all over the entire square, so everybody was running to try to get to the square, and they were all slipping and falling on their asses, and
I know.
we couldn't start the mission, and we were all laughing so hard.
Because it was fun.
It was, well, that part was certainly fun, yeah.
The thing
Listen-
is, it's so weird because I've been playing this. Like, I just feel like they mismanaged a lot of this stuff. Like the whole soul. I don't know. I'm conflicted because I think if the single player would have been co-op, it could have been an amazing game, even more so. But the thing is also, because it's solo, you don't know how many times I've been in this game where I'm like, oh my god, I'm out of oxygen. I need to get back to the teleporter. There's things chasing me. I have no stamina left. Like, my life bar is now draining down because I have no oxygen, and I just barely make it in there. It's happened like at least 5 times in this game.
Do you think I could play this game completely solo and have a good time?
Play it solo? Well, how would you co-op it? Because co-op is just missions you do.
Okay, but can I play the game without doing co-op missions?
Yeah, you could. You could. I started playing co-op missions recently to level my character up faster.
Okay.
To get some money.
See, I just don't
level
want
up
to
my
do that.
character.
You know, Chris Davis,
Well,
like he's played like hundreds of hours of this fucking thing. He loves it.
It's funny. It's funny because like I keep hearing different games that Chris Davis likes. Like, he seems the most balanced out of all of you guys.
No, he's not balanced. He's
Okay,
just the only one who
which-
plays a lot of multiplayer shit.
Okay, but which one of you guys played Blue Reflection?
He did not play that.
He didn't play it?
Well, I don't think he played much
That's
of
what
it.
my spies told me. My spies told me he played a bunch of it, and you guys were all giving him shit about it.
No, I think the reason that's weird. No. I want to explain myself. Because this dude will play 800 hours of The Division and 800 hours of fucking Payday 2, and like he'll play every Tom Clancy game under the sun for, you know, inexplicable reasons. Like, this is the man. I was sitting next to him at a Ubisoft press conference, and they played a video, and the whole time he's just looking at it like, what is this? What is this? What is this? And it got to the end, and it said like The Division. He's like, okay. And then it said, like, Tom Clancy's The Division. And he was like, oh, shit. I swear to God. It's like that one thing made him care. But whatever. That's not the point. The point is he doesn't actually play JRPGs, or like he doesn't play a lot of a certain type of game. So when he latches onto one like randomly out of the blue, it's like confusing more than anything. So like this man, I've never seen this man play a Japanese RPG, right? So when he says, "Oh, but Blue Reflection looks good," I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? It's not that like I don't think he shouldn't be interested in it. It's that it doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah, so I don't know.
You know, Blue Reflection has an $80 season pass for a shit ton of costumes, dude.
So you know how I really like costumes in like the Tales games, especially, right? You know how Vesperia is getting the remaster. You know, it's the PS3 version that we never got over here that they added a shit ton of content to. And,
Fuck,
and like,
dude.
listen, Judith.
I wasn't planning on picking that up. When does that come out?
Judith has a Cosmos outfit. Carol, who's like the short boy, he has a Klonoa outfit.
Talking about Cosmos, dude.
He has a Klonoa outfit.
Xenosaga remastered, dude.
Like the new girl. There's this new short like pirate girl in the game. She has a Mr. Driller outfit.
God damn it! God damn it, dude! Definitive. When does this come out, dude?
So the thing that's really surprising to me. Oh, and there's a Mitsurugi outfit as well. It's all these like cameo outfits, and you know I love Cosmos. So here's the weird thing.
About that,
here's
dude.
the weird thing. There is a ton of new story content in that game, right? In the PS3 version, and they said that they're bringing it over the PS3 version and they're going to localize it. But the thing that's really strange is the main character.
Mm-hmm.
The main character of Tales of Vesperia, he's voiced by Troy Baker, who at the time was like a very small time voice actor, but now he's like bigger than Nolan North. Are they really going to get Troy Baker to do all that new story content, or are they going to get like a sound alike or something? Maybe to do all of his lines over again. I really don't know how that's going to work.
That's what you're worried about, you fucking nerd?
Well, I mean, Troy Baker doesn't do Japanese RPGs anymore. Yeah. Troy Baker is not a Japanese RPG kind of guy anymore. You know what I mean?
Really?
He's like a big quadruple A fucking... Troy Baker, he does everything. You know? Ever since he did Joel from The Last of Us, you know? And
are you excited about Last of Us 2?
Yeah, I like the first one a lot.
Okay.
Okay. Do you like the first Last of Us?
No.
Well, then I'm guessing you probably don't care about the sequel. Let's leave it at that.
Oh my god. Her name's Estelle, right? The girl with the pink hair is Estelle? Estelle?
Yeah, Estelle.
Estelle. And then what about the girl with the goggles?
Rita?
Damn. There's no reason for me to start this up now, right? I just should wait for the
absolutely
definitive.
Wait. Absolutely wait.
Damn.
And that is often considered to be the best Tales of game. I mean, I don't, not in my opinion, but most Tales fans will say that probably. So it's a good Tales game to start with.
Chivos.
Yeah. You don't really like Uncharted either, do you?
I mean, I beat it. I beat 4 and I beat Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
They're okay.
Those aren't my favorites.
No.
I like 2.
I never finished 3. I finished 2. I didn't like 2. Or I don't remember me being very happy with 2. I've been meaning to go back and play it though. The Uncharted definitive.
You're just not big on Naughty Dog, at least not since that first Jak and Daxter, right?
Jak and Daxter. Yeah, I like Jak and Daxter.
I've never played through a Jak and Daxter game.
Oh gosh.
Can I play that instead of Blinks?
It's kind of, but Jak and Daxter doesn't have the best ending of all time.
I thought the best ending of all time was Prince of Persia, Sands of Time.
Why?
Because he like.
Wait, which one came out? Huh? Go ahead.
I don't remember how it ends. Well, I mean, I don't remember the specifics, but it's something like where he steals a kiss but rewinds time, or something stupid like that. No, the best ending of all time is definitely The Wonderful 101. The thing is, Wonder Red is so like he's so heroic and he's so sincere.
Okay.
He's a teacher. He's a fucking teacher.
Are you willing to put your balls on this?
What does that mean?
I will start up Wonderful 101 tonight, and I'll beat it. And if I don't think it's the greatest ending of all time, I'm gonna kick you in the balls.
No, I'm playing Blinks. Okay, that is already a kick in the balls.
Okay, so is that the actual deal then? You're playing Blinks, and I'm doing Wonderful 101.
You have to finish the Wonderful 101.
Yeah, sure. If I don't finish the Wonderful 101, you can kick me in the balls.
No, I'm just not gonna finish Blinks.
No, but I'm saying if you finish Blinks and I don't finish it.
Can we have can I have a backup game if Blinks goes bad?
Why are you always looking for these outs, dude? You're always looking for these outs.
Because I put a lot of thought into.
This is what happened the first time.
Listen.
Go to the podcast. This is exactly what happened. Why we never did it.
Listen. I put a lot of thought into my love for the Wonderful 101 and me believing that you would really like that final act.
No, I'm sure
and
I
I
would.
feel like you just pulled Blinks out of your ass.
No, because I didn't pull
Is
it
there
out
really
of my
no other game you'd rather me play?
I asked you about Blinks a long time ago, and then on top of that too, you said Wonderful 101 has the best ending, and I said, oh well, Blinks has the best ending too, comparatively.
Final act. All right. Well, what is a game you?
I can if you want. Oh my god. You want me to pick a game that I actually think is great, right?
You think is great that I have not played.
You know, like I'm not trying to pick a game that's gonna make you pull your eyes out, right? Like you don't want to play The Blob 2, right? Because that game is frustrating, but it has one of the best boss battles I've ever played. But the thing is, I don't remember because I've only played it once, so I kind of want to go back and play the boss battle again. But yeah, it's been a long time.
I think I'd rather play Blinks than The Blob 2, just because Blinks is part of Xbox's history, I guess. I don't fucking know. Why do they keep porting The Blob? Have you noticed that?
I don't know,
it's
dude.
So random. It's like when they ported Legend of K. It's like who the fuck wanted that?
I don't know, but The Blob 1 made sense. Why? Because The Blob 1 was originally on the Wii.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a second analog stick.
If we're gonna talk about the Blob, I'm gonna bow out. I think I gotta get up kind of early because I'm watching Baby tonight. I'm on baby duty tonight, so if he gets up,
you're up.
Yeah, and so I need to sleep at some point.
Well, you tell me. You're the one who has to call it, dude.
Well, I kind of want to pick your brain. Maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow. But yeah.
Does Gamer Beck have anything to do with Mighty Number 9? Is he one of your spies? No. I've never seen I've seen Gamer Beck before, but not in my channel. But just Gamer Beck. Did I ever tell you that I really liked Mighty Number 9?
You will find that David likes a lot of games that maybe we don't.
Mighty Number 9.
He thinks Fear Effect Sedna is like the game of the year or some shit.
Fear Effect Sedna is on my top 10 games of the year this year. Yes, Sedna is good. I like Sedna.
I was going to ask you what you think of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
It was good. I enjoyed it, but
not Curse of the Moon. I'm talking about
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. What about it? I don't know anything about it except Iga is making it, and I'm going to pick it up when it comes out.
So I'm notoriously super down on it.
Oh, really?
Even though I'm obviously a huge.
Well, let me ask you a question. Answer yes or no, Brad. Do you love games anymore, or do you?
Fuck you. Do you want me to read off my top 10 from last year?
Let's do it. Oh, I already watched your top 10. Is Hollow Knight.
So I love plenty of games. I could tell you.
That doesn't mean you love games. That just means you played some stuff and you had to put together a list. Here's your top 10.
Do you want to know the truth? So my top 4 games of last year, I consider them some of my favorite games of all time. Like they are higher than. Like, they're really, really up there. My top 4 was Hollow Knight, Breath of the Wild,
right?
Yakuza 0,
Breath of the Wild was so good.
And Divinity Original Sin 2. That would be one that would be like kind of outside the box for you, but the console versions are really good and you can do co-op. Like the co-op is really good in those games. Divinity, the second one.
But that's on 360. Divinity's on
Xbox One.
Okay. Divinity 2.
It just came
Cool.
out. It's new.
Have you played Kingdom Deliverance?
I have it on PC. I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
Have you played that?
I've heard good stuff about that. It's on my list. You know why?
Who told you? Who
You know
recommended that to you? That doesn't make sense.
Why? What do you mean that doesn't make sense? I've evolved, Brad. I've evolved. Well, remember when you guys met? When we remember, this is the best thing about the video game show. Remember when we started 4-Player Podcast? Like, I was sitting there like, if Nintendo ever doesn't make, if they make a game for another console,
I think about that sometimes, right?
Yeah, I'll give up games forever, right?
Yeah.
But like that was such a long time ago, and like I remember, I think the times when I remember it, I was like, dude, I never would have played this if we didn't do a video game show. I think the two big ones was Mass Effect and Alan Wake. Like those are just two games that I probably wouldn't have played.
Yeah.
If we hadn't started a show. Oh no, Dragon Age. Dragon Age, absolutely. Dragon Age is in my top. I'd say top 10 or top 20, but I'd have to kind of sit down and think of what my top 20 is. But Dragon Age is up there. I can never replay Dragon Age again, because that first time through was such a magical experience. Like you can't top that.
I adore Dragon Age, but it's one of these games that, like, I heard that you really liked it and that like Carlos really likes it. And you guys have such a discerning...
Like
No. I still love it. But you guys have such discerning tastes, specific tastes, that it's nice when a game I love is also loved by,
It's a good game.
By not just the masses, but also people with discerning tastes.
Why can they not make a game like that? Like choices that really matter, and the choices that are not so black and white, right?
Yeah.
The whole like, oh, this is a good choice, this is a bad choice.
Well, I mean, they used to do that. BioWare used to do that back in the day.
I know. I bought Andromeda the day it came out.
Did you ever play Alpha Protocol?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, dude? Bulletstorm!
Oh, that's right.
You're the one who told me about Alpha Protocol. I fucking futzed my way through that.
I finally got Carlos to play that. Or he finally got around to playing it. And he really
I thought about replaying Alpha Protocol recently again. I was like, maybe I'm going to play through that again. But that's another game that I really can't see myself playing through, just because I have such like memories of like when I played it. Just,
Yeah, that's another one where the decision making isn't just clear good and bad. It's more manipulating people. But
I just remember it was great because I forget the deaf girl's name, but I remember it's just such a like. So you beat the deaf girl. You beat her, right?
Yeah.
You beat her. Oh, she's down, and then you're like, tell me where the bad guy is and give me your information, and you're like, and she doesn't say anything, and then you're like, okay, if you don't say anything, I'm gonna kill you, and she still doesn't say anything, and then you have the decision whether you want to kill her or not, right?
Yeah.
And then I chose not to kill her, and it turns out she's like deaf, so she can't speak, or she's mute, and you're like, oh shit, I almost just killed her. It's fucking awesome, dude.
So what was your Bionic Commando of last year?
Bionic Commando, dude.
That was a game of the year for you, right?
Was it a game of the year?
I think it was number one. No, I think it was number one.
No, I don't think Bionic Commando was.
Dude, I was listening to the Rearmed soundtrack the other day. That's a good fucking soundtrack.
Let me look at my list. I had a list. I was trying to put together a top 10 list.
Yeah, I want to know your Bionic Commando of last year.
Where is it? Well, what's it called was on there. Oh, maybe I deleted it. What's it called was on there last year. Evil Within 2, which was really surprising for me. I didn't expect to like that one so much. But somehow, I don't know how I tried it. I rented it or something. I tried to go back and play Evil Within 1, and I was like, what the hell?
It's very different. I like both of them a lot, though.
Okay, so you have never played Maria the Witch, right?
What the fuck? That is not a video game. What are you talking about?
It is one of the most skill-based video games there.
Maria the Witch?
Maria the Witch is so good.
Is it an indie game? What is that?
I have spent so much time on Maria the Witch. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. When I started that game, I could not pilot my broom worth a damn. And now I'm sitting there doing loop-de-loops in between bad guys, picking up mail, dropping it off in the mailbox, going underwater, holding my breath, getting out of it, getting out of the water before my breath runs out. Oh my gosh, dude. Maria the Witch, dude. You can't handle the witch.
I don't think this is a game. Holy shit. There's one review on Switch on Game Rankings.
Yeah.
It's not good. I'm
sure it's not good because these people don't know. You don't know what delicious is, okay?
But I mean, I've played. This looks like maybe it's been a mobile game or something.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, it's on iOS. There's one iOS review. God damn it! This
good, dude. Anybody watch me play the game, dude? It's art.
Is this like Flappy Bird?
It's no. It's not a scroller if that's what you're asking.
Well, I mean, was this on your top 10 or is this just a oddball game that you like?
I just started playing it this year, so it's like a 2016 game.
What prompted you to play it this year? I know what it is. You saw the cute little witch girl, probably.
Well, it was also on sale too.
It reminds me of
$2.50.
Kiki's Delivery Service.
You know what I played recently?
What?
I played Sherlock Holmes and the Devil's Daughter. Have you played that game?
No, but I heard people like some of those games.
It's like it's everything you wish Phoenix Wright should be, because you know how Phoenix Wright is kind of like, you play the game, you're like, oh god,
yeah, the game sucks.
I gotta click on here and then I go objection, present this evidence. You just wipe all that shit out.
Find out who you have to talk to and what you have to click on to progress the fucking story between cases.
It's kind of like that with Sherlock Holmes, but you're actually doing more stuff and climbing things and checking things out, and then like you can you get all the evidence and then you have to like pick who you think is the culprit.
So what prompted you to play that game?
Who, Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah.
Why not?
No, I know you play anything, but are you just like randomly picking shit from the ether?
I mean, just whatever.
Are people suggesting that you play stuff?
Well, sometimes it's people suggesting. Sometimes it's just randomness. Sometimes like Game Pass. I had Game Pass at that time, so I just was like, oh, Game Pass, cool. Yeah. Devil's Daughter. Oh, that's cool, dude.
Game Pass.
Haven't you ever? You've gone into a video game store before. I'm sure of it. You've just gone into a video game store. You're standing there. You see this box on the shelf, and you're like, what the fuck is that?
I don't go into video game stores as much these days. And I'm always surprised when I see a cover I've never seen before, though.
Right, exactly. And then all of a sudden, once you do that, you're like, the thing is, where normal people have that limiter is like, I'm not gonna spend money on this. I don't know what that is.
Are you more likely to play something if you discover it yourself as opposed to a recommendation?
No, not necessarily. No.
Cause like, Malia will occasionally play some fucking games, right? But she's so fucking stubborn, right? Like if I push something, she's like, I will die without playing that game, right? She's that kind of personality.
Right. But she got discovered herself.
But if she discovers it herself, she'll get into it, and that's why she ended up playing Rise of the Argonauts. It's a fucking game no one's ever played. But I don't even know why I had it, but she just grabbed it out of my fucking collection once and
that's funny,
played
dude.
The whole fucking thing. I need to find another Rise of the Argonauts for her to play, but I can't be the one to suggest it. She just has to see it.
It's like that movie Inception, right? You have to let her believe that it was her idea. You have to go dream within a dream and put that thing in the safe and bring up past about her and her family or something.
Okay, I need to go. But before we go, tell me one good movie you saw recently in the past year. Movie
in the past year?
Well, just the last movie that you were like,
this is the last movie I saw was Ant-Man and Wasp.
Oh, how was that?
It's pretty good. It's got some really funny parts. We got some really stupid parts too, though.
Tell me the last movie that was more than really good.
Avengers: Infinity War.
Okay, fine.
I watched that twice, dude. Oh, actually, never mind. I watched that 3 times.
I can't connect to the public Wi-Fi.
Oh.
To update your connection.
You know, there's a clip. There's a clip of Crispy was playing a game with Carlos, a multiplayer game, and Crispy was streaming, but Carlos went AFK. He left the room, and Carlos has an Alexa, and Crispy got Alexa to order small-sized condoms for Carlos. And it actually worked.
Because he used it through the chat or whatever.
Yeah, there's a clip of it. It's pretty funny. Did that ever end up on YouTube or is it just on Twitch?
That's fucking hilarious,
Yeah.
dude. So then what happened?
He had to cancel the order.
Oh, he canceled it.
He
didn't
came back
actually-
and found. Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
I didn't even know you can order extra small condoms. I heard that the term that they use to describe them is not small, it's snug.
Oh, Jesus.
Which that's just like a friendly way of saying you have a small penis, so you need to get the snug condoms. Oh man, that's funny.
It's
And
funny that you know that.
well, they were talking about it on a podcast, just like how I know that when Chippy D was living in Japan, he had to get the condoms with the dinosaur on the box.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video of me looking at those. There's one like with the rhinoceros.
Anyways, I think we're officially tapped out for tonight.
Really?
But thanks for having me, David.
Yeah, sure.
And thanks for appearing on my stream.
Yeah.
But this is the only time I have to, stream without bothering anyone.
Really? That's
Yeah.
sad.
Well, I mean, I still play a lot of games. I just don't stream as much anymore.
Do you?
Yeah, like the thing is, I'm upstairs.
Wait, are you living somewhere? Did you buy a house?
I didn't buy a house, but I'm in Round Rock in a house.
Wait, you bought a house or you didn't buy a house?
No, I didn't buy a house. I'm renting,
Uh-huh.
but it's a 2-story, and all my
Round Rock.
all my stream stuff is up here, but my PS4 and
So-
the
So where did you do the show then?
Nolan's.
Ah.
Nolan has a huge house. So.
He has a house too?
Mhm.
Dude, all you guys are buying houses, dude. Is Nick?
Nick has a condo.
Okay, and then
What else do you want to know?
no, I just yeah. You were saying I have my thing is upstairs and I don't play much video games and
No,
or I play a lot of video games. but I don't
I play a lot, but it's on the TV downstairs. Where I'm playing like PS4 stuff, current stuff. So yeah, I don't stream as much just because when I'm hanging out with the family, I could play stuff downstairs, but when I'm up here, I'm very isolated. So yeah, did you play God of War?
I started, yeah, didn't like it so much. It was pretty dumb the beginning, right?
It starts slow, bad. I didn't like the beginning either.
It was stupid because you had that red-haired guy like talking to you and stuff. Does he come back alive later? I'm assuming that he's not dead.
Yeah, I think he comes back.
I called it.
Yeah, that fight was dumb, and the beginning is slow, but
I just keep wanting to talk to the snake. I keep seeing a snake, and I was like, "Oh, I want to fight the snake." But then somebody
like,
told me
goes
the snake
away.
is like your friend, and I was
Okay.
like, "Really?"
yeah, I don't know. I don't love it as much as everybody, but I gotta finish it. Anyways, I'm gonna go.
Sure. I'm not trying to stop you. Yoku's Island Express, though. Oh shit! You remember that game?
Yeah, I haven't
That was
finished it,
good.
but it's really good. I'm gonna kill me and just leave you on to talk to these people. No.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm killing it. Good night, David.
Bye.
And good night, streamers. I mean, stream viewers. I'll see y'all, I guess, next podcast. Bye.
Bye.